Ladies and guys who love it when a woman cannot see. Andy here, author of the best Tinder guide on the internet. This is the Kill You and the Loser show. Let's fucking go. We're going to talk about blindfolds, this bad boy here, and why blindfolding girls is a hell of a lot of fun. And this is something that I do with the vast majority of girls that I sleep with, especially in the early days when I was figuring this stuff out, when I was super nervous. I blindfolded probably 95% of the girls that I'd sleep with, like the first or the second time that we slept together, as long as she was down for it, which, by the way, most are. So from your point of view, you are a woman, Imogen,
That's
my
true.
girlfriend, my homie, my OG, my nigga. Yeah. Why do you like being blindfolded?
Because it heightens the sensations of pleasure, because you're focusing on, well, like what's being done to me by you. It makes it more intense. It's also more exciting because you don't know what's coming.
My dick will be coming, boy. But yeah, it makes you focus on, like, because you have that sense removed, hence the title sensory deprivation, you have no idea what's coming, and you kind of have to, it's like being on a roller coaster. And from a guy's point of view, because really no one cares about women, no one cares like from a woman's point of view, they just want to know from the guy's point of view. Are you shaking your head at me? How dare you, madam? From a guy's point of view, why is it fun? It's because, or what is my best advocation for doing it? I have to say the main reason that I started doing this was because I was nervous. And so if I put a blindfold on the girl, she couldn't see what I was doing. So like, I could fumble my way through it. I could be clumsy. I could be like fucking retarded. And it didn't really matter because she didn't know. She thought I was just like making her wait. Like I was some fucking expert at sex. But really I'm just like sitting there on the edge of the bed going like, fuck, what do I do next? What should I do next? Should I touch her tits? And she's thinking like, oh my God, look at him making me wait. Wow, what a fucking legend. So I recommend it to anyone who has like erectile dysfunction or performance anxiety. Throw a blindfold on her. Then she can't see what you're fucking doing. She can't see that your dick is soft. She has no idea that you're like nervous as fuck. She literally can't see that you're nervous. That was another reason I did it, because I didn't want her to see my face and see that I was like terrified.
Yeah.
Not that that's the worst thing in the world if you are, but this is a trick you can use to make it feel a little better.
And from the girl's perspective, even if the guy is doing like the most mundane things, like playing with nipples or like running your hands up and down a girl's body, all of a sudden that feels twice as good. It almost makes you like better at sex or better at foreplay, because
it's a cheat code for sure for good sex.
All of a sudden it's more exciting. It feels more pleasurable or more intense because you're blindfolded.
Yeah. And again, I think the main... So not only does it make it more fun, but the main angle here for a lot of guys is going to be like, shit, you're right. That would be less pressure. If she literally wasn't looking at me and like waiting for me, because there's that feeling if she's sitting there looking at you, she's waiting for you to make the next move, or you think she's waiting for you to make the next move. If she's blindfolded, then she kind of has to just like close her eyes and meditate and like wait to see what you're doing. So you can take your time. You can go way slower, and you can, especially if you're like a virgin or you haven't slept with many women, you can sit there and figure out what your next move is going to be. Or I'll play with her nipples next. Maybe I'll go down on her. Maybe I'll do this or that and the other. There's less pressure.
Yeah. And I think it also does lean into like the domination aspect, because
yeah, for sure.
Obviously as a girl, if you can't see, you have less power, you have less control. You have to give in to the guy more, and that can be like a really fun power dynamic.
Yeah, and so while she's blindfolded, like I tell guys to basically do whatever you think. Like whatever comes into you, whatever weird shit comes into your head. Like don't take a shit on her chest or something, but like...
That was like 0 to 100 right there.
Oh yeah, for sure. But we like it 100. We got that 100. You gotta do the 1.
Not that
So
much.
But try like just try random shit. Like try playing with her nipples, try sucking gently on her nipples, try licking her nipples, try pinching her nipples, try pulling her nipples, try slapping her nipples gently. You know, try wrapping your arms around her fucking waist and squeezing hard. Try squeezing gentle. Try gently rubbing her clit in circles. Try rubbing side to side. Like, just try whatever weird shit comes into your head. Try like 100 different things. And it's a really good way, especially because she's blindfolded, so she has to focus on how it feels. It's a really good way of getting feedback, of like figuring out what she likes. Like, because obviously she'll tell you, or you can say like, does that feel good? Tell me what feels good. You can listen to her moan and stuff, but it's a really good way of figuring out her body. And also, if you're inexperienced, figuring out how to please a woman. And by the way, if you're inexperienced, that will be different for every woman. But there'll be bits that overlap. Like, most women like having their fucking pussy played with, obviously. But yeah, It's a good way to tease.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a really good way to tease and build up the pleasure. And I think that's why you and I like doing it now, because it's something we still do with a lot of the girls that we sleep with, maybe most of them. The first time we see them, or maybe the second time, we will throw a blindfold on them and we'll just kind of like explore her body and try a bunch of different shit. Sex is also really fucking fun with a blindfold on. Like, really fucking fun. Because she literally has no idea what you're doing or what you're going to do. So you can go slow for a little bit, then you can go rougher, you can change positions. The whole time, you got to think of it from her point of view. She can't see jack shit. Like, think what a roller coaster ride that is. And that is fun, right? When you literally don't know what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other than I'm sure you can tell that there's a penis in you, but...
Mm-hmm. So it might be worth touching on briefly as well, but another thing, obviously sensory deprivation, it doesn't have to just be sight. We've only tried it, I think, once or twice together, but you can also cut off sound.
That was a really bad way of phrasing that sentence. I do that too, what you just did, where you jump forward and you say the bit that should come at the end. So you said it doesn't just have to be sensory deprivation. It doesn't just have to be like sight deprivation. That's something we've done once or twice. That's what you just said.
Is it? Okay.
So we have, to clear all that shit up, we have blindfolded a fuck ton of girls. But what Imogen meant is putting something in your ears is something that we've only done once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
And so that just means like putting headphones on a girl. Like, blindfold her and put some headphones on and just play some music. We have, however, played music on the speakers pretty loud so that you can't really hear anything. That's a trip in itself. Because basically what you want is for the girl to be in like a meditative state where she's kind of just in her own head, enjoying the pleasure, you know. Because guys, think how good that would feel for you. And you can get girls to do this for you if you want to, by the way. Like, but you will have to tell them to do it. Imagine like you can't see anything, you can't hear anything, and she's just doing like anything to fucking please you. Like, that's a pretty big fucking amazing fantasy. And so from her point of view, it's like, this can be like mind-blowing shit if you just, she can't hear, she can't see, and you just do whatever you want to her. You can also kind of like tease as well. In what I mean by that is like leave the room for little bits. I've done that with you.
Mm-hmm.
I would, however, make sure the girl is okay with you doing that, because we've met a couple of girls who aren't okay. So what I mean by that is you blindfold them, maybe you put headphones on as well so they can't hear, and then you just kind of like leave them for 5 minutes. Like, as in you don't do anything to them for 5 minutes, so they have time to like be in their own head, anticipation builds, stuff like that. Like I said, I would make sure they're okay with that first.
Yeah, maybe
because
talk
some
about
girls
it.
won't be okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah. But what is really fun about that one, particularly like if you are drawing it out, maybe doing this even for a couple of hours, is just to kind of keep coming back and then leaving and coming back, whether that's between working or just doing literally anything else. Because for the girl who's, quite often this is when tied up, like blindfolded, when you can't hear anything, there's almost this sense of like talking about us specifically, like, you're going to use me whenever you feel like it, and I'm like helpless and there's nothing I can do. And then all of that time that you do spend waiting, you are anticipating it, which makes it more exciting. Yeah.
So again, to clarify, it's like you've tied her up, or you don't have to tie her up. You just blindfolded her, and then you just spend like an hour or two, like kind of playing with her when you feel like it. Like, you play with her for a little bit, or you can even like keep playing with her, but just play with her like hot and cold. And what I mean by that is, you know, fuck her for a little bit roughly, so she's enjoying it, and then kind of stop for a little bit and maybe you just gently play with her body. Or maybe you literally just sit on the edge of the bed and don't do anything and make her wait for like 2 or 3 minutes and then get back into it. Kind of just like going hot, going cold, or going fast and going slow. I talked about this in a podcast I did called How to Give a Girl Roller Coaster Sex, and that was part of what I said. Like go fast, go slow, make her anticipate or she should ideally not know what's coming next. And again, there'll be a couple of women who aren't into this, but let's say 99% of women love this shit. So yeah, good fun. Go out there and blindfold girls. As for what blindfolds to get, you can get like, you know, ones from Amazon and shit like that. You can also just use like what we've got here, which is a scarf. That's literally just a scarf, and you wrap it around her head. We use that quite a lot, actually. We use the scarf more than anything. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can use the tie from your suit jacket. Yeah, go crazy, guys. Go out there, tie some girls up, blindfold them, have fun, good shit, get laid, get pussy, get money,